Hello friends, welcome to my channel. If you're new, you're very welcome. My name is Anita Fun, and today I'm going to show you another easy way to cut and sew your short. These are the things you'll be needing. You'll be needing your straight ruler, your French cap, a bow marker, and your hip measurement, your hip length measurement, and the total length. Okay, so we are going to divide our hip measurement by 4. Mine is 38 divided by 4 is going to give me 9.9 inch. So as you can see, I already went ahead and I drew a straight line. We'll start working from this straight line. Okay, I'm just going to come here at this center line that I draw. I'm going to mark my 9.5 this way, marking my 9.5 from here, 9.5, and I'll also be adding a ½ inch for sewing allowance. That will give me 10. Come here and mark my 10. I'm going to use my straight ruler and so connect it from this point to here. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Mark the 10. Which is here. I'm going to connect it like so. Okay, now that we have that, we are going to be putting in the cross length. So I'm going to come here at the center line, remember? Come here and I mark my hip length, mark my hip length. For you to get your cross length, you will just go down by 2 inch, which is here. I'm going to connect it like so, or you could sit down on a hard chair. You take your cross measurement, starting from where you're seated to your waist, okay? From your waist to where you're seated. So as you can see, I got my hip length line, and I also got my cross line also. From my cross line, what I'm going to do, I'll be measuring this, what I have here, and I'll divide it by 4, which is going to give me 10. Divided by 4 will give me 2.5. I will come to this my cross line and mark my 2.5 from here. This is the part that go between our legs. Once I'm done marking this, extending this 2.5 inch, what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to go out by ½ inch here. I'm going to connect this point. You could use your hand, just like so, as you can see. And now we are going to be putting in our short length. Mine is 14, and I'll be adding 1 inch for folding. Come here, I'm going to do the same thing. 14 and 1 inch for folding. This is going to be 15. To come here and go up by 3 inch from here, and from this top part here we're going to go in by ½ inch. If you're working on a normal trouser, you're supposed to slant it down, but since this one is going to have elastic, we are just going to leave it like that. Okay, so I'm just going to come here. I will connect this line to where I have my 3 inch here. Okay, you could either do this with your French cap. I see that it's not more straight. You just place it like that if you don't want to go out, but this is okay. Okay, so once I'm done going drawing this line straight, the next thing I'm going to do, I will come here, look this point and I have here, and I extend the line by ½ inch. Come here and I mark my ½ inch. Next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my hip curve, I'm going to connect it like so. I'll connect these two parts together, just like so. And here what I'm going to do, I'll be going in by ½ inch. Here I'll take my hip curve, just place it like so. I'm going to give it a little bit of shape, okay? Here, just like so, so you can see. Remember, I said if you're working on a normal trouser, you're supposed to slant it down. Let me show you how you do it. You go down by 1 inch. We normally go down by 1 inch, and we're going to connect it like so, just like so. So once we're done, just slanting it down by 1 inch, we are going to start with the back pattern. The front is already done, and in case this short pan, we're going to be using elastic. Remember to also extend. You will measure your elastic, how wide it is. Remember, for example, if your elastic is 1 inch, you're going to extend the distance of 2 inch because you'll be folding the elastic in. Okay, so now let's go to the back pattern. So I'm just going to extend this like I did. It was 10 inch. I'm just going to come here and mark my 10 inch. I'll also do the same thing here. The same thing here, mark my 10 inch. Remember, this this 1/4 is already included with the sewing allowance, okay? Come here and also extend this line like so. So where I mark my 10 inch, I'm going to just connect it. Let me reach. So I'm done connecting the line. So now I'm come here and I mark my 10 inch, which is here. I'm going to connect these 2 points. Let me recheck this if it is 10 inch. Yeah, of course it's 10 inch. So I'm going to place my. So we're going to just connect it like so. So you can see here I made a mistake, so I had to recorrect it. Okay, once we're done, we are still going to come do the same thing that we did, bring down our hip length, and then we added 2 inch for the push. I'm going to be connecting these 2 parts like so. Remember, we are working now on the back pattern. Once we are done doing that, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be extending this line. Remember, here it was 2.5, so here we're going to extend it to 5 inch. Therefore, you're going to take this distance, multiply it by 2, okay? 5 inch here, and here I'm going to just extend it to 4 inch. Connect it like so, and I'm also going to connect this part like so to where it is ended. So here, and I'm also going to take my, that's my hip curve, place it like so, my hip curve, and I place it like so, bring it down. And now the next thing we're going to do is we are going to be going out by 2 inch for the back pattern. I'm just going to place it like so, 2 inch here, and I'll be connecting this part like so. From here, let me use my French curve. Let me show you guys how to use the French curve. You make sure you place it towards the 2 inch you went out, okay? You can see I'm just going to bring it, make sure it get to this line. Once I'm done having this, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up here by 2 inch here, and here I'm going to go in by 1 inch. Connect this point like so. Look, like so. Okay, once I'm done that, I will go up by 1.5 inch. Extend it by 1.5 inch. Come here from the 1.5 inch that I went up. I'm going to connect these 2 points together, okay? Look at what I'm doing. Place your ruler like so, and I'm bringing these 2 points together. Once you're done, going up by 1.5 inch, or yeah, 1.5 inch. Now we're going to also go in here by 1/2 inch. That's to create our hip shape, okay? So I'm going to take my hip ruler, just place it like so, making sure I come like so. Okay, as you can see, we got the front and we got the back, okay? The next thing we're going to do is since we took out this inch from here, and from here, when we are cutting this on our fabric, we are supposed to extend this inch that we took out, okay? And remember, since this is going to have an elastic, you're also going to extend this. So for me, my elastic is the wide of my elastic is 1 inch. So I'm going to come here and I extend this part to 2 inch. 2 inch here. And I'm going to do the same thing at this other side. Extend it to 2 inch. Why do we extend this to 2 inch? Because since we are going to be folding our elastic in and in, like so, I'm just going to reconnect these 2 points. And here to here, I'm going to bring it like so. Just like so, connect it. So as you can see, we have something like this. After extending the 2 inch, the both side, I extended 2 inch here, and I also did the 2 inch here. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to be cutting is, cut that out, okay? So we are now on our fabric. I just want to show you something. When you're cutting your fabric, you're supposed to fold the right sides facing each other, just like so. And you make sure you look for the most stretchy. You can see if I pull it like this, it's stretchy, and if I pull it like this, it's not stretchy. So I'm going to be cutting my short pant this way that is more stretchy, okay? I'm going to fold in my fabric. So as you can see, if you realize I did not cut the half an inch that I took out from here, I will just leave this on my sewing allowance. Since this is a short pant that is having elastic, we don't really need that shape, okay? So remember, when I was making the pattern, I already extend that's my 1 inch for the sewing allowance. If you didn't, you're supposed to do this here, okay? You see, I just pin it. So let me show you the next thing we're going to do on overlock machine. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to take it to our overlock machine. Just overlock it like so. And do the same thing here. Okay. So I'm going to just place it like so. So you can see, lift up my overlock machine and make sure do the same thing with the other side. So once I'm like overlocking it, as you can see what I did all around except of the waist. So now we're going to just take it to our machine. You can see the overlock is sewing white thread here, which I don't really want. So I'm going to take it to my sewing machine. Place it like so. I'm going to stitch half an inch inward, both side, okay? Yeah, my sewing machine. I'll put it on. You can see just back stitch, making sure that it's I'll do the same thing with the other side. So you can see this is what I have. We are going to be putting in our elastic. So first thing you're going to do, I'm just going to mark my elastic into 4. This is the center, okay? There's the center. And I'm going to come here and I also mark the center. Here's the center. And I'm going to do the same thing here at the center. Once I'm done marking that, I know these are the 2H, okay? These are the 2H here. So I'm going to take in my, let's just turn it around. It's really beautiful, guys. It's coming out beautiful. Cut your thread. So I'm going to take one of my center. This is it. One of my center, and make sure I mash it up with here, just like so. And I put my pin. I'll do the same thing here. One center, I bring it here and put my pin. I come here at the corner and put my pin. I do the same thing here too. I'm also going to put my pin. So this is what we have. So you can see we're going to take it to our lock machine, just overlock that, the top bit. Okay, so now we're just going to take it to our lock machine, and make sure by the time you're sewing, you're pulling it, okay, for it to be fit together. Okay, I'm just going to grab it like so. Make sure, let's just turn it like so, so you guys will see what I'm saying about. I'm going to lift up, put it here. I'm not going to cut the elastic. I'm just overlocking the both elastic and the fabric together. Remove my pin. Make sure I pull it. Pulling it, okay? Every time you sew and go, you pull the elastic, okay? Make sure you're not cutting this elastic. If you don't have an overlock machine, you could do this with your zigzag stitch. Making sure everything good. Perfect. Here, one thing I'm going to do, I'm going to change the side of the pin that I put. Make sure I pulled it. I can pull it a little bit down. And you make sure you're actually sewing everything up together. I get to the end. Cut it. As you can see, I went ahead and just overlock it up together. This is what they look like, as you can see. And now one thing we're going to do, we are going to fold in like so. That's overlocking the top part. The next thing we're going to do right now is we are going to simply just like fold it like so, and we're going to stitch this top part. And remember, stitch like so, okay? And later on we'll pass like so, and on top. So I'll be taking it to my sewing machine. Make sure when I'm sewing it, I'm pulling it just like so. We're first of all going to stitch this downer part, and later on we'll pass a stitch on top here. Okay, so after we have overlocked this top part, you can see the material is so beautiful, guys. You can see later on I'm going to press that up. I'm just going to take it to the sewing machine and folding it like so, and I'm going to stitch round. So when I'm stitching and going, I make sure I pull it up, okay? Just like so, you can see. Like so, folding it like so. If you want, you could just go ahead put pins, but I'll do this under my hand, holding it and making sure everything's intact, okay? I'm making sure I put in like so. I hold in the first stitch, and make sure I sew on top of the the stitch of the overlock. You see me doing. You can see this is what it should look like. Put it like so, making sure I'm just stitching everything up together. Each time you stop, you make sure your needle should be down. Put my needle down and pull it again. Do the same thing over pulling it. So as you can see, it's really good. So now, if you want, you could leave it like this, but I'm going to go ahead now and again pass a stitch on in the middle, okay? So I'm just going to stitch on it like so, okay? So as you can see, what I did so far is I top stitch this other part, and now I'm going in. What I'm doing, I'm simply passing a stitch in between the two lines, okay? Just back stitch. And now the next thing I'm going to do after I've done this, you can see this is so beautiful, guys. I really love it. I hope that you guys do. This is perfect, guys. So let's forget about that. The next thing we're going to do, we're simply going to stitch like so. Join this part that we pinned before. We are going to stitch it like so, just like so. And we're going to be folding it in just 1 inch in. Remember, we left 1 inch for the folding. 1 inch in, and we're going to just stitch it, and we are done, okay? So here's the finished look, so you can see. And I also went ahead and I hemmed this. It's good. This is really great, guys. I love it, and I hope that you guys do. And please do not forget to give me a thumbs up.